words were exchanged with the family. He went out to the reserve, and
Okay,
I would imagine, in my opinion, that happened soon thereafter. So that would give
Hey
time for
guys,
the
hold
remains
on a
to
second. Let me just
settle.
get to the
If the
studio.
water came
Okay,
up,
I'm on live.
obviously we looked at the
Let me
water
get to the
levels, so
studio.
that would have played a factor. The humid climate here in Florida would have played a major factor in how those
Get some
remains
breaking
were
news here.
skeletonized as we were
earlier,
told.
but my
And only partial remains. A lot of you are asking right now what remains were found, and we don't have the
internet
answers. I don't have the
crap was
specifics
acting
on
up,
what
so-
remains were found, but obviously there was enough evidence.
Thanks, Katrina.
Couldn't be determined initially
So, according to
from
Stephen
the medical
Bertolino,
examiner. That's why I went to the anthropologist to
family
really take a
attorney for
closer
the
look
Laundries,
at DNA
hired
and the skeleton to determine a
the
cause of death
for Brian Laundrie
and a
is
manner of death. So that's what
gunshot
we
wound
know
to
at
the
this
head.
point.
The
So
manner of death is
still a lot of
suicide.
answers. You know, it's a
That is
frustrating
only
one because
so
we've
far
all
at
been
this
waiting
time
for
being confirmed by
some
the
type
family
of closure
attorney.
on the
The
case, for
forensic
instance, but
anthropologist
obviously
is
there's
supposed to have
not going to be closure
a
for Gabby's
report, they
family at
said,
this point.
Tuesday
We
or
want to
Wednesday,
try to
so
get
there
more
may be
answers,
something
constantly
coming. I'm gonna check
get as much information as we
in
know now.
with,
Where is the gun? Obviously, if it's a gunshot wound to the head,
Brian
where does that gun
Ensign. See,
exist?
I've got
Is there
WFLA, I'll
one?
put up
Is
there
it
and
still
see
in the
what
reserve?
they're just
Those are all
going over
questions
this
now
over and
we're going to
again.
want to
So,
find out. So my
hold on
hope is the
one second.
FBI in Denver will give a press conference.
Stop.
And according to the attorney, he had mentioned
Stop
he
this
was going to get his
WFLA
information at 1
survey, 'cause
o'clock.
it's getting-
So we don't know if that was 1
angry.
o'clock Eastern, which is
Okay. Let me just go to this right here. So the Laundrie family attorney confirms that Brian Laundrie's cause of death was a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Manner of death was suicide. Chris and Roberta Laundrie are still mourning the loss of their son and are hopeful that these findings bring closure to both families. Again, from Stephen Bertolino, the Laundrie family attorney. But I'm just going to quickly go to Brian Enton on Twitter and see what he has before I go back to WFLA, because they just go over ad nauseum, you know. The same thing, the same thing, the same thing. Reminds you of some... okay, so Brian says, let's see what Brian has. 3 hours ago, Brian Enton tweeted, I'm told a Brian Laundrie autopsy update is coming today or tomorrow. And then the full statement, here, let me grab this. Full statement for Bertolino. Chris and Roberta Laundrie have been informed the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the head and the manner of death was suicide. Chris and Roberta are still mourning the loss of their son and are hopeful that these findings bring closure to both families. So let's go back here. It says, where did the gun come from? Bertolino is in saying Brian Laundrie died of a gunshot wound to the head, and the manner of death is suicide, according to the Laundrie family attorney, Stephen Bertolino. So they're still awaiting the autopsy results from the forensic anthropologist. It looks like they're done. The family's been informed, and so they just have to release that publicly. And let me get FLA. Hold on 1 second. Let's see what they're saying, but they're not going to say anything different. Let me see here. Let's put that on here. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Let's resume in a minute here. So Brian Laundrie, the fiancé of Gabby Petito and the person of interest in her death, died from a self-inflicted gunshot. Autopsy results show. Stephen Bertolino, the Laundrie family attorney, texted WFLA reporters about the findings of the autopsy on Tuesday afternoon, again saying Chris and Roberta Laundrie have been informed that the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the head and the manner of death was suicide. Chris and Roberta are still mourning the loss of their son and are hopeful that these findings bring closure for both families. Earlier in the day, Bertolino had said to expect more answers on Laundrie's death as soon as Tuesday. Laundrie's skeletal remains were discovered October 20th at the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park in Northport. The remains were identified as Laundrie through dental record comparisons. Bertolino said the remains were sent to a forensic anthropologist after the initial autopsy came back inconclusive. The FBI is the lead investigating agency on the case involving Laundrie and Petito. The agency has not released any kind of a statement on Laundrie's autopsy yet. He was the only person of interest in the death of Gabby Petito. Okay, although he was named a person of interest in her murder, he was never charged with Petito's murder. He was suspected of debit card fraud and withdrawing more than $1,000 from an unnamed account during the time she was missing. Okay, so we'll see what happens with them. Let me put these guys on.
And how she died specifically. Now that I would imagine would open a lot of doors for comment from the family. I mean, people would be demanding to know more about what they knew. And so I think the pressure would be really put on that family to speak, because they would want to know, all right, how much did you know?
Hold on a second.
Was there anything specific about how Brian died and about how Gabby died? Anything that you would know, and they would demand to try to get some answers from that family. So I think it's early. It's pretty early to tell right now what the next step is, but this is at least one piece of the timeline as we move forward in this whole case.
Brian Enton was on News Nation last night, and they were talking about Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie and where things go from here with former FBI agent Jennifer Coffendorfer. And it was interesting because one of the things that Jennifer said was everything's under the microscope with this investigation. So if the FBI found something irregular, such as a discarded item, or she said a deleted text message, deleted correspondence, anything that just that is irregular, then of course the investigation goes in that direction. But as of right now, these are grieving parents. So many people, again, we've talked about this so many times on WFLA Now, so many people have wanted to vilify Chris and Roberta Laundrie when really, in reality, they are and have been over the last several weeks, they are grieving parents to 23-year-old Brian Laundrie. As of, remember, just a few months ago, as of this summer, Chris and Roberta Laundrie thought that, that their 23-year-old son and their 22-year-old daughter-in-law to be were going to get married and have a happy life together, and their whole lives have been turned upside down. And again, they are not facing any charges.
Right.
We have to again stay rooted in reality. They're not facing any charges right now. They haven't even been the only thing that doesn't really add up as from a law enforcement standpoint, and I could talk about the Petitos and the Schmitz, but from a law enforcement standpoint, is when the Northport Police Department, Josh Taylor, spokesperson for Northport Police, says that early on in their investigation that there wasn't full cooperation from the Laundrie family. That's how he put it, that they did not cooperate fully. This was around the time when the mix-up with Northport Police admitting that they thought that they saw Brian leave the home when in reality it was Roberta Laundrie.
Yeah, right.
And then Josh Taylor came out and said, that there wasn't full cooperation early on in the investigation from the Laundries themselves, from Chris and Roberta. So let's just keep everything. Let's stay again to the facts, folks, and it's really important.
Point I want to bring up too on the fact is if they will talk or not. Jaden just sent me a good message, and this makes sense. That Stephen Bertolino has done several interviews, we know, and he did mention that maybe later they will speak. Now is not the time, and I actually remember him saying that several times. Will the parents speak? Maybe later. Now is not the time.
Gun was not mentioned. Pitbull.
He kept the door open there, and so. Given the new development, obviously they're grieving, and we respect that, and that will take some time now that they have confirmation of how their son died. But after this is over, the holidays are over, maybe we will hear from the parents on just everything that transpired in the last 3-4 months.
Lisa Tomlinson, hashtag HJB, any DNA found? DNA, as far as it being a resource in this case, you have to imagine that at this stage in the investigation.
Okay, could you hear me now, Pink Talia? All right, so basically, all we have is the information from Stephen Bertolino. The forensic anthropologist has not put anything out there publicly. The FBI has not put out there anything publicly, nor has, any agency, just Stephen Bertolino. And I can read that again for those of you just joining. Okay, so Stephen Bertolino, the Laundrie family's attorney, texted WFLA reporters about the findings of the autopsy this afternoon, saying, and I quote, Chris and Roberta Laundrie have been informed that the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the head, and the manner of death was suicide. Chris and Roberta Laundrie are still mourning the loss of their son and are hopeful that these findings bring closure to both families. Earlier in the day, Stephen Bertolino has said that people should expect more answers on Laundrie's death as soon as Tuesday. Okay, and then he gave that statement. Again, Brian Laundrie's skeletal remains were discovered on October 20th at the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park in Northport, Florida. The remains were identified as Brian Laundrie through dental record comparison. Bertolino said the remains were sent to a forensic anthropologist after an initial autopsy came back inconclusive. The FBI is the lead investigating agency on the case involving Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito. The agency has not released any kind of a statement on Brian Laundrie's autopsy yet. Brian Laundrie, if you remember, was the only person of interest in the death of Gabby Petito. But he was never charged with her murder. There was an arrest warrant out for debit card fraud and withdrawing more than $1,000 from an unnamed account during the time that she was missing. Let me see here. Yeah, so that's what we know so far. Let me see here. Let me just go to the live chat over here for a second. See what you guys are saying. So, let's go up here. Hey, Deb on the Move. Hi, Captain Lee Fan. Hi 61. Hi, Sassy Darcy. Hi, the Pink Dahlia. Hi, Taylor. Taylor, you changed your name? Used to be MT, right? Hi, Elise K. Oh, yeah, and I've got to show your drawing still. Faithful One, hello there. Hi, Dawn Ranky. Hi, Mom Ames. Carol Boyce. Remy. Emmy B. Mary Beth. Move 2. Let's see. It's hard to hear me? Is it still hard to hear me, Mom Ames? Jimmy, can you see if I'm hard to hear, please? Okay. Everybody's saying it's hard to hear me. They can't hear me.
I hear you. Let me go check the bot.
Oh, no. I think it was just because they were... No, never mind. They can hear me now. I think so. Jennifer Allen, Michael, Amanda Sue, Lisa Nia. Okay. Drew's Paranormal. Was a gun mentioned? No, a gun was not mentioned. Gun was not mentioned. Just that the only mention of a gun was that there was a gunshot wound to the head being the cause of death. But the gun, where it was or if it was recovered or anything, was not mentioned. Hi, Katrina. There was info floating around that a gun was missing from the Laundrie's home. Just can't believe no one has found it yet, she says, and Katrina lives down there. Thanks, Katrina. Pink Dahlia says they still don't believe he could have killed the couple in Moab. He clearly has access to firearms. We cover family, 21. Heather Donahue, hello there. Emma B. Okay. Let's see here. Billy Sunday. Good point, Dahlia. I haven't seen any updates on the Moab case, but I haven't looked either. Okay. Nikki 5 or Nikki V. Where's the gun? How could they find backpacks, water bottle, but not a gun? But, okay, let's say there is a gun, and of course there is a gun. We know there is a gun. Gabby was not killed with a gun. And... you know, I mean, I'm sure the gun came from down there. I hear Carolyn saying I'm hard of hearing. Jimmy saying that. Pitbull, maybe the gun is what his mother was looking at in that bag. Hi, Vicky. How are you? Susan Monday. Why did Brian's parents lawyer up then? Mommy, innocent. What do you mean? Well, we don't know. We don't know when he killed himself, right? We don't know. They didn't give a approximate time frame or anything like that. They didn't do that. Hi, Dee Dee Roberts. Lucy Lee, Denise R., Donna Parker, Beauty and Brains. Find it right below the name of the video. I don't know what you're talking about, Mona. You talking about my email or something? Oh, membership? You can just put an exclamation point in membership if you want to join the membership. Hi, Virginia. Let me see here. I don't really know what you're talking about there. Laundries, we are sorry for Gabby's death. Our son has been found. No further questions. Okay. So, for those just joining, I'll read the statement again by Bertolino's attorney, okay? Hang on. Let me pull that up so I read it exactly the way he said it. So, Stephen Bertolino, the Laundrie's family attorney, texted WFLA reporters about the findings of the autopsy on Tuesday afternoon, saying, Chris and Roberta Laundrie have been informed that the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the head and the manner of death was suicide. Chris and Roberta Laundrie are still mourning the loss of their son and are hopeful that these findings bring closure to both families. Let me check on Twitter if there's any comment from any of the Petito parents. Let me see if there's any comment from any of them on there. Hang on one second. Okay, Jimmy's playing me in stereo over there. I don't know why he does that. I keep hearing my voice. It just drives me crazy. Okay, so according to Brian Enton, he said again, Brian Enton said Brian Laundrie died of a gunshot wound to the head and the manner of death is suicide, according to the family attorney, Stephen Bertolino. Where did the gun come from? Bertolino isn't saying. Also not saying if a gun was recovered, where, etc. None of that is being put out there. Now let me just check on if any of the parents have something. So let me see. So I'm going to Joseph Petito. Let me see here. And Joseph Petito tweets and replies. Let's see what you've got. Okay, so November 22nd, he's got a bench. It doesn't look like... He says a huge thank you to Squared Fabricators for making an amazing tribute bench. It's beautiful. So they made a nice tribute bench for Gabby. But I don't see him reacting to this. Let me check on Gabby's mother. Okay, let's see. I believe this is her mother. Okay. One sec. Let me just see one thing here. Just gonna go quick to Nikki Schmidt. Here we go. And she's talking about the bench. Okay. So baremetalfab.com made a beautiful piece of artwork for our family in the community of Northport to cherish a memory for many years to come. And I'll show you a picture of that. Hold on a minute. I'll show you what's on there. Let me just grab this. So this is what's on that bench in memory of Gabby Petito, 1999 to 2021. Lift up your hearts and share with me the memories that will always be. Let it be. Matthew 18:20. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. And let me get a better picture of the bench, which is over here. It's over here. So that's a room, and that was very nice. That's baremetalfab.com that did that for them. Yeah. No. Okay, and then I still don't see anything of them that they reacted to this at all. So I wouldn't think the step parents did if the parents didn't. So I'm just going to refresh it just again. And I'm not seeing anything there doing that. Just going to go back to quickly Brian Enton. Let's see. Let me go to. Okay, I'm just going to look at J.B. Bruno's tweets. Brian Laundrie's manner of death ruled a suicide by gunshot wound to the head. According to the Laundrie family attorney, Stephen Bertolino, the FBI has not said anything, nor has the forensic anthropologist come out and said anything publicly. Again, we're hearing this from, Stephen Bertolino. So, let's see if there's anything else new. I don't know when or if there'll be another report from them today. See here, Stephen, again. I'm just going to read it again. Chris and Roberta Laundrie have been informed that the cause of death of Brian was a gunshot wound to the head, and the manner of death was suicide. Stephen Bertolino released that, then also saying that Chris and Roberta Laundrie are still mourning the loss of their son. They are hopeful that these findings bring closure to both families. Now, earlier today, Stephen Bertolino said to expect more answers on Brian Laundrie's death as soon as Tuesday. Remember, Brian's skeletal remains were discovered October 20th at the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. The first autopsy was inconclusive. He was identified through dental record comparison, which is 100%, and then his remains were sent to a forensic anthropologist after that initial autopsy came back inconclusive, and now this forensic anthropologist is the one that is releasing this information to the family, and of course to, the FBI and everything, but the family attorney is saying that this was released by the forensic anthropologist to them, and that is the manner of death is a suicide, the cause of death a gunshot wound to the head. There's no mention about a gun being found, where the gun was, anything like that. That has been mentioned. Nothing. So, absolutely nothing about that. And let me see here. And then you're looking at the bench. Okay, that was a tribute, and it was made by Metal. I'm trying to get it. What did I say? baremetalfab.com, who made that, and I'll put up another picture over here. So it's looks like it's in a park in Northport. Very nice of them to make the bench and donate it for a tribute. Let me just go back to the chat. Okay, I was wondering, why did it take them so long? It just seems to... I don't know, Susan. Yeah, I don't know. No idea. Hi, Jeanette. No idea. Hi, Maltimate. What's wrong with Jeanette? Brian Enton is a good source. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, Sparks, he is. Hello there. Hi, Dana Soleil. Looking good. Yeah, he's a nice guy. Rose Marie, hi. Thank you, the Pink Dahlia, for the super chat. Cindy Ann, hello. Sarah Holly. Henny's number one. Mona says, good luck, Katrina. I wish I could tell you more. There's just been so much information. All I know now is there was a gun found. Whether or not it was Brian's gun, I don't know. Oh, you're down there too, Mona, right? Mona's down there too. Mona says there's no way he would have handed over the gun to the mother. That was not the time it was found. It was found a few days after they found Brian, is what Mona says. Thank you, Virginia, for the super chat. And Virginia says, rest in heavenly peace. Gabby, thank you. Carol Clark. Buster the Two says, I think he just shot himself the same day he left. He probably did a little ritual, then trigger. Carly said, this is a theory I have, and I could be totally wrong, but could Brian have committed suicide at his parents' house and they put his body there? I doubt it, because I think they searched their house and they would have, especially if it was a gunshot, it would be very bloody. Mona says there was a gun found by some civilians in the swamp. Oh, please tell me you don't mean the Jonathan Rich's guy. Please tell me you don't mean him, Mona. Because I'm sorry. My opinion, I don't trust that guy at all. That guy, no. Please tell me that's not who you mean. Brian Enton is live on Twitter. Okay, let me put that on. Thanks, Katrina. Let me go there. Got Brian Enton right here. Let me just refresh it. Brian.
Discussed a gun in their release. That is very interesting, because if they recovered a gun out there and somehow it has been kept under wraps this whole time, that gun will end up going back to its owner as long as it was properly registered.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of
Yeah,
that.
the FBI does not keep evidence. It returns every bit of it.
Okay, well, obviously I'll tweet out if I learn anything more. I gotta run. It sounds like you're busy. You're making pies.
Making pies,
right?
for Thanksgiving, and I hope everybody.
How many pies?
4 pies every year.
4 pies.
4 pies: apple, cherry, pumpkin, and chocolate cream. The chocolate cream's from my husband. He loves chocolate.
Very nice. Okay, well, I gotta run. Check out this on another topic. The Kyle Rittenhouse interview is going to be on tonight. That Ashley.
I can't wait to watch that. I will definitely.
That'll be really interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
And I will. I'll tweet if we learn anything more, and we'll keep everybody posted.
All right, sounds great.
But good luck with your pies, and thanks everybody for tuning in for this little quick spaces. We'll talk to you guys later.
All right, sounds great, Brian. Stay safe.
All right, bye. Bye.
Okay, that was weird, because he had to join something and it said your mic will be off when you join, like as if people could talk in there. That's weird. I've never seen him have that before. He says, join me in my space. Okay, I guess they had some new thing on Twitter. They have a space and you can talk live in there. That's weird. That must be... Well, I don't really... Twitter is something I have to use for blogging and stuff, but and then I've used it a lot in this case with him, but really prior to that, Twitter's like my least favorite thing. But now if they have this space thing, it's kind of like a little voice meeting. Could be interesting, but there was no new news, and that was Jennifer Coffendorfer, the former FBI agent who's been on with Brian many times before, giving updates and talking about theories. She's making pies. She's making pies. Okay, my chat is... Hi, 10th Angel. Yeah, Mom Ames made a nice wreath. Check out her video. John Musaki. Chad Huckabee, hi. Mimsy Girl, hi. Hope you feel better, Jeanette. It looks like you're not feeling well. Take it easy. Jennifer Rochelle, you were reading all the comments on last night's live. Jeanette, I wasn't sure if you were upset or just posting poems. Oh, she posts poems all the time. Jennifer Rochelle, all the time. Hi, Slam RN. Hi, Carolyn Parrish. Laura Lee, I wonder if they collected it early and kept it hush. She says, Annie B. Hello there, Annie B. I'm sorry if I offended anyone. No, you didn't offend anyone. I didn't see anything that was offensive. I didn't see anything offensive. Okay, let's see. How many feel Gabby was insecure? Well, she was in an abusive relationship where he was belittling her all the time. Told her she wasn't good enough, told her she'd never get her website up, told her she'd never get her channel up, that kind of stuff. Irvin says caliber weapon used. They didn't release that. And was the gunpowder residue on his hands? They didn't release that, Irvin, and I don't even know if they found his hands. There were only skeletal remains found, a partial skull. So, yeah, you're not going to see that because it looks like he was just down to bones. I don't think they're going to be able to tell much of that anymore. But they can tell it was self-inflicted. So... So yeah, that seems like the update so far. If anything comes in from the anthropologist or if the FBI releases anything, I mean, here's the thing. They have to tie this case up because if they don't let us know that either DNA on Gabby indicate that, you know, Brian is the one responsible for her murder, if they don't do that, there is technically another person that they need to search for, right? And you could say, well, maybe that person could be connected to the Moab murder. So they have to tie this up. Whether they were waiting for this to tie it up, the FBI, I would expect, has to make a statement pretty soon in order to tie it up. Otherwise, it's going to be an open investigation and, you know, no idea of who killed Gabby when Brian was the only person of interest in the case, you know, so then what, right? We've got to see. Hold on a minute. I've got to let my dog in here. He wants to get... Come on. Come on, get in. Let's go. All three. Let's go. Get inside. Okay. So, yeah, they have to tie it up because that wouldn't be good. We pretty much all know what happened to Brian. We all want to confirm Brian killed Abby. Yeah, absolutely, Chad. We want to find that out. Can't they just close the case now? Annie B, no, because we have to know what happened to Gabby. You know what I mean? They can't just close the case because, especially with that Moab murder and stuff, like what happened to Gabby. They have to tie that up for us. Otherwise, it would be an open investigation. Thank you, Brenda Fillenbaum, for becoming a Sergeant Rambler. So yeah, we have to, wait for that. I think we'll hear it now. I think we will hear something from the FBI. I think so. That's just my own thing. You think it's possible that they could tell it was a gunshot by the way the skull was shattered? Yeah, I agree. I agree, Mona. I agree. I believe there was information that the Laundries were not revealing even to law enforcement, and that if they knew he was already deceased, they should be held responsible for money. Henny fan. Brian killed Gabby. There's no doubt he was abusing her. He killed her. A stranger did not come along and strangle her. Oh, I believe that too, Henny. But they do. You do want to hear evidence to support that. So then that's done. Thank you, Mimi. So let's see. Sparks definitely agree. Oh, it's it's Stephen. I was wondering who that is. Okay, Oxy. That's an interesting name, Stephen. Oh boy. Hi, Lisa Jones. Use your voice to text feature, Jeanette. Oh, it's always a blast when I use my voice to text feature. You never know what you're going to get. Brian's motive is clear. He wanted to tree hug all day, and she wanted to build a website and social media. His dream was shattered. He couldn't escape from technology. I think it was more than that, than technology. I think she was probably going to leave him, Buster, because that's when it really gets dangerous in these abusive relationships. I think she was going to leave him. Sour milk and cookies. I think the Laundrie's lawyer announcing this adds to the strangeness of this case. That's correct. Who said I didn't say anything about done with stuff? I didn't say that. Oh, did you get your teeth? You're getting your teeth done? That's good. I said it's an interesting name is what I said. I think that's what I said. Something to that effect. MRB, do you think it's possible the Laundries exchanged legal services for the rights to Brian's life story? Bertolino seems like he relishes in the spotlight. I don't know. I think he's a longtime family friend is what I know. He is a longtime family friend. He is a real estate attorney. So no, Ash. Did Carolyn? Yes, LOL. I don't know what that means, Stephen. I know what you said. Oh, okay. I agree there's more, but all their fights were about her vlogging. Well, we don't know all, though, because we only heard what she said at the traffic stop, right? We don't know everything that went on. What I think, Buster, what I'm thinking is that when he went back to the storage sheds and she was really working in earnest at that time, her father was even helping her, she posted that video on the 19th when he was back in Florida. That's the only video that was on their YouTube channel. And I can imagine that she probably got a lot of comments, probably comments he didn't like, probably comments about, why are you with that guy? You can do so much better, blah, 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 blah. You know how YouTube works. And she was also, we don't know like what transpired with that trip, okay? Because it's very odd to go back to empty a storage unit. Because he had, the father had his son-in-law, if he needed manpower to help him, right? They could have hired someone for less than it would be to have Brian come back. So that is very strange in and of itself. But it could have been a much bigger fight. It could have been that if she did tell her parents that he was going back to the storage shed, it could be that she didn't want to say they had a fight. And we'll know more about that if they release the text messages between them at some point. What went on, you know what I mean? Then you can see where their state of mind was during that week. If they were fighting, if they weren't fighting. We haven't seen text messages. We haven't seen anything like that. But if I'm thinking that maybe it was a fight and then he got really threatened during that week. She was moving on without him. She wasn't standing by. She was posting Instagram. She was starting the channel and all of that stuff. And she had her father helping her. So she was making a statement to him, I don't really need you. And then he came back on the 23rd, right? And then the 24th, they checked out of the hotel. The 25th is the last time her mother heard from her. So, it was not a long period of time before they had that fight at the Mary Piglet's restaurant that was on, the 27th? And that was probably the last time she was alive. And I know that fight, it doesn't seem like it was what the woman in New Orleans said, according to the staff at the restaurant, but who do you believe? But either way, there was tension, and they had to drive back to wherever they were. So it could have built up. She could have said, I'm leaving you. I don't need you. I spent this whole week getting this up. Maybe he saw posts from people, and it was just going to get worse, he thought. Now everybody's going to be, coming on to her. She's going to find better than me. She's going to be in the spotlight. I don't want it. And there was a huge fight, and, whatever, I don't think he, I don't think he was out there planning this. I think this was something that he did to control the situation. He was in the heat of the moment. She wasn't going to leave him, and, that kind of thing. So he did it. Then he covered her up, and he thought about things, and then started to make his way back to Florida, and just craziness there. It goes on the camping trip, and then all of that. So, yes, Flo. I'll read it one more time for the on this for the people that have just come in. Okay, so hold on 1 minute. Let me just pull that up. So we're looking at Stephen Bertolino. Okay, so Stephen Bertolino, the Laundrie family attorney, texted WFLA reporters about the findings of Brian Laundrie's autopsy on Tuesday afternoon. Chris and Roberta Laundrie have been informed that the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the head. The manner of death was suicide. Chris and Roberta Laundrie are still mourning the loss of their son and are hopeful that these findings bring closure to both families. Okay, there's no mention of what gun, whose gun, where it was found, nothing about the gun. No mention. No mention of gunshot residue, no mention of the gauge of the gun, nothing like that. No mention of the timeline. Okay? No mention of that. And this, again, not coming from the FBI, not coming from Northport Police, not coming from the forensic anthropologist. This is coming from Stephen Bertolino, who said the forensic anthropologist released this to the Laundrie parents, and he is issuing this statement, and that's what we have. So let's see. Let me go back to the chat. Hi, somebody said hi, Carol. Hi, Pamela Patrick. I wonder if the father confronted Brian on the 10th. There's definitely more to the story, in my opinion. I don't think they saw him on the 10th. Still know nothing about the storage shed incident. I agree with you. Yeah, we don't. Nope. Am I taking Zoom calls later? I'm going to do, what I'm probably going to do later is I'm going to do a little baking, and I may just go on with Zoom and bake, and people can come up and they can bake, or they can talk, and they can, in a little bit. Brian, oh my gosh. Stephen. It's funny you have the name of the attorney and I'm telling you Brian. I'll probably do that where people can call in and they can either come on and bake or do whatever they're doing, because I'm going to I have to bake some cookies and things. So it's 2, maybe around, I don't know, 4 or so. Oh, I'm not shutting anything. What? We got something? What have you got?
I'm going to put a conspiracy theory up. Can I?
Oh, no, don't put a conspiracy. You can put it up there, but put LOL. So they know you're joking.
I don't know about LOL.
Well, that just say it. Well, don't think saying people think you're serious. You think it was a double entendre? Because look at how things ended in the song compared to cool. I'm home and bored and love watching. Yeah, I'll be on later. It might be an hour or two. You're making the Pizzellis tonight, Rosemarie. Oh, yeah. I usually, as a kid, I always made those. We always made those on New Year's. I don't know why. You know, it was that huge recipe. I just remember the size of that bowl. I have my Pizzelli maker here. I don't make them as much as I used to make them. I used to make them all the time. I have to get back to that. Don't worry about it, Jimmy. Hi, Nurse of all trades. You baked a pizza. One out of the DiGiorno box, Stephen? Thanks for rereading the report. Carol and I watched the Dr. Oz interview with Gabby's parents on YouTube. Yes. No, I always mess it up. Nurse of all trades. Okay, let's see. Your pizza's takeout or frozen, yeah. You're not cooking tonight or tomorrow night. It's your 50th birthday tomorrow. Wow, happy birthday, Mama Ames. Tomorrow, what's tomorrow? The 24th. Okay. 24th. Yeah, I've got to figure out. I know I'm going to do spritz butter cookies, then I'm going to dip the bottoms in chocolate. I have to make mini cheesecakes. I have to make pumpkin pie. I don't know what I'm going to do today, what I'm going to do tomorrow to figure this all out. Right now, I'm going to need another cup of coffee. I had a terrible, oh my gosh, you guys. I have Scooter's on. I had the craziest dream about Scooter, and it was so real. It was so real. It scared me. Oh my gosh. And she'll die if I say what it is. She was on camera, but she thought her camera was off. And we kept trying to tell her, Scooter, your camera's on. Your camera's on. And before we know it, she is like dancing around, I am not joking, in a black, with no top on. And she just had a black G-string on. And I was going crazy, and we all were going crazy. And I put my hand on the monitor to cover it. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's not covering it for everybody at home, right? And she was dancing around, and she was like looking in the mirror because I think like she had lost weight, and she was like, no, she had a G-string on, Dana. And she was dancing around in the mirror. And so I covered the monitor, and then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's not covering it for anybody at home. Oh my gosh. And then she whips the camera around, and there was something really risque around on the TV. And I go, oh my gosh. And she knew she was on, but she had no idea that we could see everything. It was horrible. And that's what I woke up out of a nightmare to. And I was trying, for some reason she couldn't hear, like she had us on mute. So we were screaming, Scooter, Scooter, shut your camera, shut your camera. And, you know, I was trying to shut the live down, and that's how I woke up. Carol, that wasn't a dream, that really happened. Yeah, Kristen, I was freaking out. I was like, how is she ever going to go on after this? How will she ever be, how will she ever be okay after this? She's going to be so mortified. But, yeah, it was crazy. Hi, Janet Do. It was a crazy dream, but I'll tell you what happened is I went to, I closed up here, and then Scooter said, Dorothy is live. And I said, okay, well, I'll listen in my massage chair. And I think I was a little delirious because I was typing in some really weird stuff in there. It was heavily sarcastic. If anybody ever thinks that's, I know, I was just saying stuff about who Dorothy was talking about. Like, oh, I think she's just misunderstood. She has a heart of gold. She's always trying to help people. I think that money situation, that was probably just a big misunderstanding. I was typing stuff in there. Not typing, I was doing voice to text, and it was coming out crazy. And I was in the massage chair. And then I must have fallen asleep at some point because I don't even know what time Dorothy went off or whatever. And I was waking in and down. You know how you don't want to even oh gosh, I can't. You couldn't even get out to go to bed. And then before I knew it, my kids were up. So then got them off to school, and then I sat back down in the chair again because I don't know. You feel like okay, yeah, I've got 45 minutes of sleep. I feel great. So I was in the chair. I don't know till about got the kids off. So it was 6:30. So it was about 8 o'clock, and then I said, I don't know, I gotta take like maybe an hour, but I couldn't fall back to sleep again. And then you know how you have that groggy feeling, but you can't sleep? Like, and you're just praying, please just let me fall asleep. Please let me fall asleep so I don't ruin my entire day. And so, yeah, that's where I am. That dream really freaked me the freak out with Scooter. It really did. It really, really did. I really thought it was so real. And there was another dream too. And now I've lost that dream, but I was dreaming like crazy. I don't know why. But the other dream was about, I don't even know if they were real people, but I think there were people from YouTube as well. And it was something about, this is what I mean. If it's not like a really, you can forget dreams like that if it's not really vivid. But this was vivid. Like Scooter's is vivid, I remember that. But I'm just saying, like one I had about my mother after she died, that one, it's like as clear as a bell to me. But some other ones I forget them as soon as I have them, even if I wake up. But it had something to do with YouTube, and it had something to do with my kids and other kids. And this one lady was saying that these pants were found like in this, they were like, I don't know, like gang pants or something. I don't know. It was really weird, and I've almost forgotten I know what it was. Somebody was moving next door to the house that I lived in when I first got married, and we had neighbors moving in next door, and the neighbors were, oh my gosh, they were somebody that we knew. I think it might have been from YouTube. And they were moving in and introducing themselves, and then within that, kids from there came over. It was weird. It was one of those all over the place. And then the last thing was Scooter dancing around and then showing I'm like, oh my gosh, Scooter, stop. All I just remember is covering the monitor with my hands and then thinking, what the heck is that doing? That's not doing anything for the people. Gang pants. They were something, S-Sparks, they were something that came out of like a clothing donation thing. And the woman said to one of the kids, like, why did you go get those pants out of the gang donation bin? Why didn't you go into the regular one? Because, like, I guess they were, like, some gang bangers pants or something. They must have been tagged, you know what I mean? Sparks, because she knew that. And I all I remember is thinking, like, how did that lady know that? Because I didn't know that or something. And then I looked, and then I saw, like, there was, like, a tag, you know, and what I mean a tag, like, tag that you do with graffiti. It was weird. And then it was the Scooter dream, and then I said, forget it. I can't. And then I just got up, and I just been feeling like groggy-ish. So I'm going to have another huge cup of coffee, and then I'm going to hopefully come on and open a Zoom where people can call in and come on and just relax, hang out for a while. You know, whatever you're doing, you can call in. It's not going to be about anything in particular except, you know, getting ready for Thanksgiving and stuff and all that good stuff. You have dreams that wake me up and bother my little grandsons. My husband says he tries to calm me down and stop watching so much true crime. Yeah, I did have some weird thing on YouTube trying to make me fall asleep, but I don't even remember what that was. It's nice sour. Scooter is practicing for upcoming talent show for pole dancing. Yeah, Tammy. Oh my gosh. I think it's the GMA interview, but in my opinion, I think he confronted Brian and then was warned. I don't know if he did, Chad. I know he was down there, but I don't think Brian was at the house because I believe they did ask them, and they didn't see Brian. I think it was the parents that he tried to confront, but I think Brian was already gone. I don't know. Scooter was like, she was really going to town. Like she was in front of a mirror. I'm like, oh my gosh, Scooter, stop. All right, everybody, hey, Rubian, I'm going to end this, and like I said, I'll be back in a little bit with a Zoom where people can call in, because I do have to bake some stuff and such. So look for that. I don't know if there'll be any notifications, but I'll talk to you guys soon, okay? Love you. God bless. Take care. You often have dreams and you're naked and you have nothing to cover yourself with. You know what I used to have dreams about all the time, Mona? And I wonder, I really have to wonder if they stopped when I got my driver's license, but I would be in a dream, I would wake up, and I would be like, not just in the back seat of a car. I would be like in the third row seat, or like an old station wagon. Remember when they had the thing like behind where they used to have those little seats that opened up in the back? I'd be like way back there, and I'd wake up and I'd look over and the car is flying down the highway and nobody's driving. And I'd have to climb over the seats to get into the front to get control of the car, you know, before it crashes. I used to dream dreams like that all the time. All the time. The way back, yeah. And I wonder if it stopped when I got my driver's license. Because it used to be all the time that I would be there. And it was horrible too, like in the summer right after you finish school, that you always have dreams that you miss like your math final exam and you're late. I used to have those too. And then I would see like, Carolyn, come on, it's summer vacation. You're not even you're not even in New Jersey anymore. You're at the lake. But I would have dreams all the time that I was late for the exam, those kind of dreams. But I think the driving ones ended soon after I got my driver's license or before. It was probably just some suppressed fear that I wouldn't be able to control the car. Yeah, we could share that. I used to have that dream all the freaking time. Used to be so freaking scary. And the car would just be flying down like 90 miles an hour down the highway. And it was going straight. Like it wasn't veering all over the place. It was just going straight, but extremely fast. And I just had to like keep climbing over the seats to get behind the driver's, to get behind the steering wheel and slow the car down. Or dreams where I'm driving on a bridge and it ends abruptly. Yeah, I don't know what my sleep paralysis was for a long time. I finally found it on Google, and it makes sense. It's very scary. Or dreams where you're falling, and you're falling, and you're falling, and you wake up right before you hit the ground, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. And, but the one with the car, it's always that, and then after, like, the school year would end, it was always that I missed an exam or something. And you had a dream with Scooter in it, but it wasn't that personal. I think I was there too. Yeah, the dream with Scooter it's just crazy. Did the marshmallow stay puffed man where the ghost chases you? You've had that dream 4 times? Do you like marshmallows? Maybe I don't know, maybe you eat a lot of marshmallows and you kind of feel like you're eating that guy and he's chasing you. I don't know. You've never had nightmares until your little ones came along. My husband told me that I sleep talk and he asked me questions and I answered them. My mother used to have these dreams where she thought a man was in the bedroom and my father was so used to them that, and I don't understand, because if you startle my father when he's sleeping, he'd be like, whoa, whoa, but she would be like, Mario, there's a man in the bedroom. He's at the foot of the bed. And he'd just be like, go to sleep, Ida. What? Okay. He'd just be like, go to sleep, Ida. And so, like, I would at least, like, I guess he was so used to it, but I don't know if I was woken up out of a deep sleep and somebody's telling me there's a man at the edge of the bed, look at that. But yeah, she would have dreams like that, crazy dreams like that. No, but you love marshmallow peeps, so maybe you're eating the Stay Puft Man's children, so maybe that's why he's chasing you. Your mom was always shouting in her dreams and you're scared? Yeah, I feel like sometimes I have dream, like it almost feels like I'm like startled, or like I always think like my heart stops or something because I wake up in such a start. And one thing I can't do is, like, it's really hard for me to sleep on a chair. Like when my mother was in the hospital after she had the stroke and I was staying with her, it seems like anytime I would drift off in the chair, I would wake up in like such a start. So like I was up the entire night because I just couldn't sleep in a chair. I would just feel like I was falling or something. I don't know what it was. It was horrible. The whole experience was horrible, but I just can't sleep well in a chair or something like that. Even if it's like reclines, it's very hard for me to sleep something like that. I don't remember having them until I was in my late 30s and they scared me. I wake up and I can't move. What kind of dreams? What is this sleep paralysis in which you speak of? I wonder if that's what I have. You wake up and you can't move? Oh, no, I like wake up in a start or something. It feels like my heart stopped or something. It's weird. I don't know. Half our lives sleeping. There are some fascinating studies on sleep and dreams. Yeah. So weird. But I better, hi Eva Paul, I better have some more coffee and try to get motivated. I have so much to do and I'm just not. I get motivated at the wrong times. And I've got to get myself motivated. Sounds like anxiety, Lauralee. It's been a while. There's some scary stuff that happened. Yeah. I don't know. I've got to get myself motivated. You haven't slept in a bed since your husband died? Captain Lee, where do you sleep, on the couch or somewhere like that? Is it because you just can't take to be in there when he's not there? When I drive a car in my dreams, the headlights never work. Yeah, I think I've had dreams like that too. Something, or the brakes don't work or something, like you're driving and the brakes are not working. You're in Holland too, Eva? A heart made wise, yes, definitely. Your eyes are open, you cannot move. Oh, no, then I don't have that. I don't have sleep paralysis. Knock on wood. Loss of loved ones cuts deep, and the laundry's handled poorly. Bertolino. Credibility is questionable. Hi, Gianna Marie. How are you? Anybody just joining us? Yeah, the cause of death. Gunshot wound to the head for Brian Laundrie. And manner of death is suicide. Here's last 20 seconds. It's frightening. Everything feels real. Sometimes monsters. Oh, really? I was told I used to sleep with my eyes open, Mama Ames. My mother said it was because I never wanted to miss anything. She's like, oh, your eyes are open when you're sleeping because you don't want to miss anything. When you're running away from something and you can only run in slow motion. Yeah. Huh. Hi, April F. Hi, Gigi. 62. So anyway, yeah, I'll be on in a little bit. I'll open up a Zoom where you can call in and spend some time chatting and stuff with everybody. Even if I'm in and out, I'll leave the Zoom on. They can come in and out. And I'm going to probably be doing some bacon. Oh my gosh, baking. If I can get my motivation, I have to have some more coffee. Your daughter slept with her eyes. Yeah, I don't think my eyes are all the way open. Like, I'm sure they were just a little bit open. I can't imagine sleeping with my eyes completely open. That would be really too much. But, yeah. People's eyes that open when they are asleep experience bad headaches because their air... I don't know. I didn't have headaches as a kid. I 61, so they're a little bit open. You recorded it for her? She still has lucid dreams. How old is your daughter, Laura Lee? Why is the chat? People. Will it be a hideous cake? No, I'm planning on making butter spritz cookies with chocolate on the bottom. Dip them in chocolate on the bottom. And then I want to make the mini cheesecakes. So they might be hideous mini cheesecakes. I don't know. I bake them every year. And pumpkin pie. I have to make that. Those are the things that have to be made. And then what I do from there, who knows? I've got to make a stuffing, but I'm not going to do that. I don't do that till the day of. Jimmy does the turkey, thank goodness, because my mother was the only one that washed the turkey. You know what a ritual my mother made with washing that turkey. Oh my gosh. Okay. And so yeah, Jimmy has taken that over because the first thing I said to Jimmy is like, oh my gosh, when my mother passed away, I was like, who's going to wash the turkey? Like, I will. And he really does. He took over everything with that turkey, and he makes it fun, like with the kids, with pulling out the stuff of that. So, yeah. He does the turkey, and then he does the ham. So he handles the meat, and then I do the baked sweet potatoes. Sometimes we make mashed potatoes, and then we always do the candied yams. When he'll do that, I'll do that. We switch on that one. And then the vegetable, I don't know, I have asparagus I brought, baklava, and I also have green beans. So I don't know which one I'm going to do there. And then rolls. What else? Cranberry sauce, of course. I hope I'm not missing anything. I was like I make this big list. I go to the store and I always leave the list in the car. But I think I got everything. You never cooked a turkey in your life? That's interesting. Oh, and I meant to tell Lisa H. ShopRite had tons of turkey breasts. Butterball and Shady Acres or something. Were you able to get your car fixed? I said, yes, I did say that. Why? Am I not allowed to say that? Bakalab? Hi, Lisa D. How's your mother? Did you get that car in? Or are you going to you able to get your turkey breast? Because I bet you they have them. Pitbull says turn the turkey upside down. Halfway through. Ooh, your son fell at daycare. His front tooth. Eee! Oh no, poor little kid. I hope he's okay. Oh, you love baklava. How do you make it? Do you make it with just garlic and stuff? Olive oil and garlic? Oh yeah, fruit and nuts. Yeah, they always bring the nuts in, and I always think of Rocky for the nuts because we always buy him mixed nuts, and this time of year is great because we stock up on mixed nuts and shells for him because he loves the shells, help his teeth and stuff, you know, to stay nice and your mom's good. Lisa H, did you get, where's Lisa H? Wow, not here. I am taking it to the garage next week. Oh no. So did you get to the store? You sent me a text message? Okay, Janice. Do I need to read it right now? Because I don't have my phone. I don't know if my phone is not near me. I'll check it when I get off. I'm going to have another cup of coffee. And I am going to try to find my motivation. Because I've been so lazy all day. But I'll be back in an hour or so. And I'll just leave I'll come on and put the number in Slack. You guys can call in, whatever you're doing. It'll just be a laid back Zoom. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have another cup of coffee. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hopefully you guys can make your way back in. And then I'll put the number in. All right. I'll see you guys later. Love you guys. Talk to you later.